I want to talk about batteries, okay? Everything's changed from when I was younger. In the old days, we'd have a flashlight with two D-sized batteries and a bulb in it. We could change the bulb. We could change the batteries. I mean, literally, those flashlights would last forever. We had flashlights that were over 20 years old, and they always worked. We'd have to change the bulb, we'd have to change the batteries, but they always worked. Now we've moved up to apparently great technology, is what they tell us. For example, this light here, okay, has the battery inside. I have to connect a USB cable to charge it. But something's happening to this light. This light is 8 years old. I've always liked this light because it had a blinking red light on it. So when the lights went out, I knew where this was because I could see it. But now when I plug in the USB cable, it's almost like it's never charged. Something's wrong there. It seems to charge, but it doesn't tell me when it's fully charged. So I have no idea. So something's breaking on this. This light takes 4D batteries is what it takes. It's more of a lantern, has big LEDs, it throws a lot of light. This light you pull up and the bottom unscrews and you got 3 AA batteries underneath this thing. Okay? These are super cheap. I'll even have links to this one. I have 8 of these scattered all through the house, is what I have. The bathroom, the kitchen, the bedrooms, I got them scattered all over the house. I really find this convenient. My headlamp, this is what I wear for hiking and camping, and I do like the USB connection. I do have another headlamp that I carry that uses batteries. So let's understand and take a close look at some of this stuff, okay? A headlamp that runs LEDs. Now, this runs LEDs. This is an LED. Even this big battery has an LED. So LEDs are known to last you 4 to 7 years if you've got them on a constant basis. So this light here, and I've had this thing like over 10 years, and not one LED light is burnt out. The most it gets used for is maybe 4 or 5 hours, and then usually the power comes on before that. And then it might go a whole year before being used again, because our power don't go out all that often. So that is quite interesting if you think about it. Now this, I wish I had more, but I don't. This LED is going to last a very long time. Maybe even outlive me. But the battery that's inside here, because I can't change the battery, probably less than 5 years, I'll end up throwing this away, whether I use it or not. Now, another problem I've had with these batteries that are built inside that you don't take out is basically they'll swell. I've had flashlights that I paid up to $100 for, and inside the aluminum metal body, the battery swelled to the point where I couldn't get it out. And that was very frustrating. And that's something else to consider. So you have to really think about what you want your lights for, okay? And how much you pay. Now, something like this, these are super cheap. You know, if this breaks or whatever, but the batteries do come out. Easy to replace. You could buy 3 packages of these, and as long as you don't put the batteries in, it'll probably last you your lifetime. Throw it on the shelf. Good to go. This one, this big one, you can't throw that on the shelf and leave it. I'm going to tell you that right now. And if you're going to throw that on the shelf and leave it for any period of time, you don't leave it fully charged. Probably because it'll expand or crack the case or whoever. Who knows? But if you think about batteries as a car battery or your truck battery,
Like my truck battery, I usually have to replace it, usually every 7 years, sometimes sooner, which costs me 150 bucks. Now that's got all kinds of room inside your vehicle when you pop the hood, right? Well, these things are all compressed, and it's very important to think about now. Now, some of these they call them solar generators and give them big fancy names, but you can spend a lot of money on those. I mean, you can get into $1,000, you can get into $1,500. The bigger, the more batteries, this type of thing. And I really wouldn't spend that much. You're going to spend that much on one of those. I would go buy a generator. I'll bet you that'll last you longer if you learn how to take care of it than those things. These batteries only last so long, like inside your vehicle. So I would buy something affordable and cheap, a couple $100. And because it's nice, it's complete. But better yet, you could look into building your own. Lots of videos on YouTube. So now if the battery goes 5 years later, plug the battery, put a new battery in. Where with this you can. None of this stuff is replaceable. This basically is a paperweight when the battery goes. And that's all there is to it. The same thing with these. Now, yes, this has batteries that go in the bottom. But you start getting into expenses. This is bigger, so it costs more money. I've seen them up to 80 bucks on Amazon. Where these, are a little bit cheaper. But the battery's built in. So don't expect it to last as long. And this is very, very important on what you're doing and what you choose. Think about how much you're going to spend on that item and then think about its lifespan. So consider something like this, if you're lucky, 10 years, maybe 7. Okay, so think about that when you buy a big solar generator, they call them. They don't last forever, okay? Anything that has the battery built in that you have to plug a USB cable into, consider 5 to 7 years. It's got a lifespan, and it's not going to last you forever. When you have things that batteries go into it, because an LED light, if an LED light is on constantly, it'll last you between 4 and 6 years. But chances are, this LED light is not on a constant basis. So it'll probably last me 15, 20 years. The only time it goes on is when the power goes out. But if you're at a cottage and there's no electricity there, this thing may be running 8 hours every night. Okay, and that's something to really think about. There are people that buy sheds and live in small sheds. There are people that live in trailers. And they're trying to create the comforts of home. But if you live in a home like me, and the only time I'm going to use this lantern is when the power goes out, this is all I need. And it's super cheap. Buy some AAA batteries, charge them, and have them sitting beside it. Don't even put them in when you need them. But if you need a headlamp, I chose to have the battery built into it, so no matter what, I can't lose the batteries. And I can just charge this thing up on an external battery if it ever goes out. So I have a feeling this will last me a long time because it's not like I'm hiking every weekend. So you have to consider when you're using them, how long you're using them, and the length of time. And this is very, very important. Those flashlights that have those aluminum cases with the battery in them, I stopped buying them. Once I had that battery, it wouldn't come out. I never bought another flashlight that was all aluminum with the battery in it. Or if it didn't open at both ends where I could get the battery out. And I found myself, when I wasn't using it, I had to take the battery out and check it to make sure it wasn't swelling, is what I had to do. Now, weather affects all this too. High humidity, high moisture. All this depends on the area you're from and what's going on. This is very important. But if you're expecting something like this to last you a lifetime, you're wrong. This is going to go just like your truck or car battery. Okay?
If you're looking for light for your house, I would go the cheapest you can. Okay? I would not get all fancy. And to be honest with you, a kerosene lantern, and I have those too, will last you your lifetime if you have kerosene on the shelf. But all this stuff has a lifespan, and it will not last you 20 years. So keep that in mind when you start spending money on these items, on what you feel. If you want it to last a lifetime, you might want to start looking into these cheap ones or the ones that take batteries compared to the ones that have batteries built into them. Just something to think about. I'll catch you guys on the next one.